Welcome to today's session. In this session, we will try to understand the default gateway which is coming in your IP config results. It's here. So, let's try to answer this question. Why isn't it called a default sender or default router? Why only default gateway? Why gateway? Why gate? What way? Why does only one device becomes a default gateway? What is it a gateway for? It sounds surprising, right? But the logic behind the word is deep. So let's decode what default gateway is. The literal meaning of gateway, gate is to control entry and exit, right? Entry, exit. And way is a path. So gateway means a control path that allows you to leave one boundary or enter another. So for example, this is the boundary and then this is your gateway via which one can enter and one can exit. So it's a control path, and that exactly what happens in networking. Okay. So let us try to understand now the networking meaning of gateway. So inside your home, one device talks to another one, right? That is happening. And they talks via LAN. They talks via LAN. But outside of your home, you need to leave the local boundary of your network, right? So these walls is your boundary. So to talk to the outside network, you need to leave this boundary. And the device that provides that exit path here is called as a gateway. It is a gateway. It's a door to the outside network. So it can be similarly explained like, for example, if yours is a building, okay, it has a many flat. Okay, consider all flat are connected to some network. All are using single network, not separate. For our simplicity, consider a single network. From one flat, you can communicate to other flat. And this is the boundary of your building. Now, inside this flat or inside the building, you can communicate directly. But if you want to communicate to the outside building, what you need to do? You need to escape this entrance, entrance and exit point, right? If you want to go outside, you want to exit. The main gate here, this is our gateway. So it's a guarded, right? There will be a guard present here. So similarly, we will have some provision at gateway. So at computer perspective, how it works out is you are connected to or you are operating your system. Now you type google.com, you are in your network. This is your mobile, for example. This is your mobile, this is your Alexa, this is your another smart device. So all these are within your network, private network, and this is your router. Now as soon as you request google.com, it will go to your router. Router has a routing table. Correct. This one we have seen. So the IP of your system is 192.168.0.20, for example. This is the IP of your system. And if this is the IP of your system, what will be the IP of your network? It will be 192.168.0.0. This is the IP of your network. This is the IP of your system. Now, Now you are requesting for google.com, which is for example present at 142.251.46.78. This is the IP random I have taken. Now what happens is router maintain the routing table. So all the IPs, whatever your devices are having in your private network, all will be maintained here. For example, this is the IP of your system. This is the IP of your mobile. This is the IP of your tab. So in case you want to communicate to mobile, if you send that request, your router will figure it out the IP of mobile and it will send directly to your mobile. Your request doesn't go outside of your LAN, correct? But now you are requesting for google.com. Now Google is outside your network. They might have their server lies outside here, for example. Now you are requesting for google.com. So your request hits the router. Router has a routing table. Now router doesn't identify this IP. So what router does is it will send it to gateway. The gateway is 192.168.0.1. This is the default gateway. So router will send the packet which it doesn't identifies to this one, this IP. So this IP is a exit point of your private LAN. So as soon as your router understand that the packet is not for the local network, it will send it to the gateway. Now gateway will know the next hop, where it might think that the next hop will know where is this IP located. So it will send it to the next hop. And similarly, the next journey of the packet, we know how it happens, right? But in this case, the packet will exit from your private LAN with the help of default gateway. So what gateway does in one line? Gateway helps you to route your packets to the outside network. So you are in the LAN and there is a WAN, wide area network outside. It helps you to route your packet to the outside world through a single entry point or gate that is called as a default gateway. Now obviously people will ask, why not call gateway as a router? Why not? Correct? Because it is also routing the packet, right? Routing the request at the end of the day. But the history behind it is historically, not all gateways are routers. Not all gateways are router. In early networking, gateway translated between different protocols. Okay, initially gateway used to translate only as per the protocols. Okay, so router routed between the same protocol network. Okay, if you are in the same protocol network and other network is in the same protocol network, if you want to connect, then only the routing used to happen. So gateway stuck as a term that implies leaving the local realm. Even today, a default gateway is often a router. So this is very important concept. Here also I have mentioned it. So your default gateway is always equals to your router. Okay. So router itself act as a default gateway. So 192.168.0.1 is your router IP. At the same time, it is acting as a default gateway. And if your system has a IPv4 and IPv6, then for both the IP system, you will have a default gateway available that you can see here, correct? So this is all about the default gateway. If you like this video, do share, subscribe and tell your friends about my channel. It will help me a lot. So thank you.